So it's always fun to restore some of the more classic empires in Hearts of Iron 4. One of those classic empires is, of course, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Austria famously doesn't stick around too long in World War II due to Mustache Man's little Anschluss plan. However, what if there was a way to prevent that and bring back the glorious days of the empire? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to be breaking Germany's back and bringing back the glorious Austro-Hungarian Empire. Let's get into it. So here we are in Austria. Now, Austria didn't come out too well after World War One, and well, we can see some of those issues that we currently face within the country within these focuses. So we have widespread unemployment, not good. We do have the Phoenix Insurance, which is good for now, but there may be an issue with that shortly. We are recovering from economic depression. There's the treaty, which is, of course, restricting a lot of our factory and construction abilities. And then there's widespread fascism throughout the country, which is not good for us. That's not what we want. We want to go down the monarchist path. Now, I am playing, obviously, with the Gotterdam DLC, which gives Austria an absolutely lovely focus tree, which means we can go down this side of the tree today by reinstating the Herrenhaus, reforming the legacy of our empire, and then through some of these focuses, we'll be able to regain the Austro-Hungarian lands. We do have some economic focuses that we'll obviously want to try and pick up to mend our broken country, as well as some of the military ones. We will need those as well. However, Austria is on a time limit, really, in Hearts of Iron 4, because old Germany here is, of course, going to be doing their little Anschluss. So we've got to try and put ourselves in the best possible position before that Anschluss event happens, and, well, Germany tries to take us over. From that point, we're going to be enacting a defensive war, which will whittle down the German numbers and equipment. And the way that we're going to be doing that is with our good old friends, the Space Marines. But before we get to that, we've got to go down some of these national focuses. So, like I mentioned, it's going to be quite important to try and pick up some of our economy. However, we do need to try and beeline to get the Austro-Hungarian Empire up as quickly as possible. So to do that, we're going to quickly start off down, repeal the May Constitution, and get our way down to reinstate the Herrenhaus. The army is pretty pathetic. We're just going to ignore it for now. We'll put it on the border with Hungary. They're going to be our first victims. And then we get a small amount of factories. However, we will get a lot more. As we can eventually integrate more territories into our empire, we will start to look pretty powerful. We're going to need artillery because it's going to be very infantry focused. So that is what we shall do for now. Research wise, we need to get the industry going somewhat. So we'll do the basics. There we are. And then construction wise, we don't really get too much, but I will start off with some infrastructure here, and there we have it. So let's unpause and crack on. And just before we get started, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel recently and shown some love and support. And there's been a lot, so I'm just wanted to say that I'm really grateful for anybody that subscribed or liked one of my videos so far. Really does honestly mean a lot, and mean a massive amount to small channels like myself. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, then maybe consider dropping me a like or subscribing as well. As I mentioned in one of my last videos, I have got my next goal on 10,000 subscribers, and well, to be honest, it's quite surprising that we're nearly halfway there anyway. But yeah, again, massive thank you. Resources, we are a little bit short at the minute. It's only just on tungsten, so I think we won't trade for anything in the minute. We'll make full use of our factories. Repeal the May Constitution is in. We'll go straight on to the next one. Here we are, the Phoenix Insurance scandal. Following shortly after the death of their beloved General Director Wilhelm Berliner, Phoenix Insurance has run into further troubles. So, yeah, that lovely buff that we're getting is no longer so lovely. We can essentially cover the payments and allow us to revive Phoenix Insurance later down the line for some very powerful buffs. So of course, we'll cover the payouts for now. Oh yeah, and obviously being Austria, we don't have any ports, but we do. So we have no navy, but we do have an air force. The air force is going to be really, really rubbish. So these planes, just leave them for now. We could exercise them. We might as well. There's no way that we're going to be able to match the air power of Germany, but that is where our space marines will come into play. German remilitarization causes widespread worry. Yep, it bloody well should. That gives us the Anschluss decisions, which means that we can actually, it gives us quite a lot of good buffs, really. We're going to want to use some of these emergency fortification efforts so that we can build fortifications better. The others, maybe not so important, and then we can also get some defensive area buffs, which we'll see later. Oh, no, here they are. So these state garrisons, this is what we want. We're going to put these on the key borders to help us defend our lands, again, on our German border, essentially. Lovely. We've completed that, as well as electronical mechanical engineering. So we'll do reinstate the Herrenhaus next, and of course, we'll go straight onto mechanical computing. We are going to need to build some fortifications, so we will need more civilian factories. Not necessarily too many. I think 4 would be good. So I'm going to put these above next, the military factories. But then as soon as these 4 are done, we're going straight into all-out military factory production because we need to get our military industry going. Lovely. Basic machine tools is in. We'll go down dispersed industry. We will have a really good industry once it gets going. Political power-wise, I'm just saving up now at the minute for our silent workforce. We're going to need a lot of political power for the route that we're going to take, because we're going to be snatching territory rather than puppeting it. Reinstate the Herrenhaus is in. That is excellent for us. Next, we're going to move on to a legacy of the Empire. Then we're going to do a quick side trick. Now that we've got Otto back in power, we're going to get that lovely political power gain. So we do need to semi-sort the industry out. So we're going to do a quick diversion. We'll do regulate the finance sector. Then we want to do economic resuscitation, just to help with building at the minute. Because as I mentioned, here we go. So our first Nazis in government. We're going to get a few decisions here which basically push the Nazi agenda into Austria, and we don't want that. No, Otto is our glorious new king, and he's going to lead us back to the glory days of Austro-Hungarian Empire. So of course we're going to say absolutely not. This is going to give us a political power. Well, this is going to cost us political power. However, we have been saving it, and there are going to be a few decisions where we need to use political power, hence why it's so important. So it's good to bank it for these decisions, but we do need that silent workhorse to try and improve our situation. However, unfortunately, we get further pressure to install Arthur. We need to stick to our guns. There is a reason they pressure us. Do not relent. Lovely. And that is going to help us magnificently with Anschluss, because that is going to slow down Germany getting through our borders, or declaring war on us at least. We got a bit of time until the next one now. So again, we need to save back up our political power. But yeah, we did not want to give in to that. Now, realistically, we can probably just prioritize some of the industry focuses for now, just because we're going to... We don't really need to focus too much until we get to sort of 1937. And the main thing that we obviously want to prioritize is tanks. Now, these are a few options that we get here to for the fate of the credentialist bank. And to be honest, it's a matter of preference. We'll go for the medium now, but you can. I would either go for this or the bottom one. Gonna go for the top one. Our next focus: economic resuscitation. Lovely, that is in. Now, as I mentioned, the clock is ticking, so there are some really good quick focuses we can pick up here. We'll pick them up as we start to pick up more land, because we can fill in the time. So now we really want to push for getting the empire back. So we're going to move on to Legacy of an Empire. Then we're going to move all the way down to bring Hungary into the fold. And then we're going to start claiming up some of these lands. There we are. We have 150 political power. Let's make sure that we pick up our silent workhorse. In fact, we'll probably need to get off civilian economy next, and then we'll want to probably pick up our monarchist treasurer. Gives us a good consumer goods factor, and we need to start getting underlying support. But for now, we need the political power. Let's get the silent workhorse in. Look at that. The Legacy of an Empire is in. Now we need to push on to carrying the crown. And we should start getting some unaligned... well, we should be getting unaligned support now. We do definitely need to shift that to help with stability. Carrying the crown is completed. And we've got a new flag, because we're now the Archduchy of Austria. We're going on to rebellious rearmament. Next lot of 150 political power is in. We'll get up to partial mobilization. That's going to help us because, I mean, Yeah, our consumer goods factor still 30%, really bad, but hopefully once we get our next advisor, we'll be set. February 1937. Let's start trying. We're gonna need tanks and we're gonna need lots of armor. Speed is not too important. And we will probably need anti-air research, so they're going to be quite crucial. So armor, yes, let's get that. I think what we'll do at the minute is we'll split 2 focuses for industry, 1 for military, and then that way until we start coming up towards 1938, and then we need the tanks. Now you get 2 paths where you can either demand Hungarian submission. That puts basically a lot of these countries or nations that we're going to go on to move down into puppets, or you can bring Hungary back into the fold. We want to rush a lot of this land grabbing so that we can do this focus here, proclaim the Austrian Empire. That is going to give us a massive buff to war support, but recruitable population factor. By rushing these focuses, we're also going to be able to click this button down here, which is going to give us cores on pretty much all of this highlighted territory, which makes fighting Germany so much easier because we now have a vast country of manpower and industry that we can pull on. Here we go, bring Hungary back into the fold. Now this unlocks decisions which you can see here to either annex the Kingdom of Hungary, rally against the Kingdom of Hungary, as well as offer Hungary a pact of non-aggression. Now we want to annex the Kingdom of Hungary and a lot of their territory, so we're going to be basically buttering them up. As you can see here, if we send the request now, they'll likely refuse. We need to improve those odds by doing a few of these decisions. To do that, we're going to need political power and guns. So now we're just going to need to use all our political power essentially for these decisions. So now we're going to rally against the Kingdom of Hungary. We're going to be doing this essentially for Poland, Czechoslovakia, Romania, and Yugoslavia. So we're going to need a lot of political power. However, whilst we're doing this, it gives us some time to pick up some of the other focuses. Now we can do something like devalue the shilling. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I think I'm just pronouncing it like the classic British shilling. But I'm going to say it anyway like that. Somebody can correct me in the comments. But this is going to give us more consumer goods factor, but it's going to give us political power. So, hey-ho. Swings and roundabouts. It's only for a year, and it will be done before the war starts. Now, as you can see, we get 2 decisions. One to arm the guards on the border, or the other one to do military exercises. This does cost us more political power, where the other costs us guns, but we don't have the guns. But this is quicker as well, so we definitely want to click this and make sure that we can get that. Meanwhile, these focuses are 70 days, so we definitely want to start picking up our next target and moving on to the next bit. So we'll do Czechoslovakia next and move on to their lands. Lovely, and now they are very likely to accept, so we should be able to annex their lands now. The Kingdom of Hungary folds. Welcome to the Archduchy of Austria. And with that, our fellow brethren are back. We're one step closer to forming our beautiful Austro-Hungarian Empire. We do get some more units as well. Now, for the minute, I will change all of these cavalry over to just this one division. We will use some cavalry, and we want to make sure that we change all of the infantry over to our main infantry template. There's going to be a lot of template jiggling about that we're going to need to do. For now, we'll just leave it as it is, and of course, we'll put everything on the border with Germany, and we'll start to move bits over when we need them. So we'll need, I think, probably 6 on the border for now, so we'll just maybe move those over there. That will do. Czechoslovakian lands. Our focus is complete, which means we can move towards them now. Of course, we're going to keep doing the same thing. We need to rally against them before we do our annexation. This is going to give us some time, so we can probably pick up another 35-day focus in between. And we do need to get an army commander. It's so important because we need army experience to rejig the army about. So let's pick up this one, get 2 military factories for that. That's going to be perfect. Nearly done with this. And we'll see how we're doing for time. Towed anti-air in. Excellent. We'll see how we're doing for time because we do need to start building some land forts. We need to basically reinforce this whole border with Germany. So we will start working on that shortly and basically expand the Czechoslovakian fort line. Nearly done with this. And we'll see how we're doing for time. Towed anti-air in. Excellent. We'll see how we're doing for time, because we do need to start building some land forts. We need to basically reinforce this whole border with Germany. So we will start working on that shortly and basically expand the Czechoslovakian fort line. Again, we have somewhat of an air force back now. A bunch of miscellaneous planes, but we do have at least a full squadron of really rubbish fighters. So we'll just exercise them again. We'll use them. They'll be crap, but we'll use them. One thing that's quite crucial is that we can also now build anti-air. We're going to want to build anti-air basically along a lot of these main provinces, so that we don't get absolutely flattened when the Luftwaffe come after us. And we've also completed one of these decisions against Czechoslovakia. Let's do military exercises. It's a bit quicker, and we've got the political power. That being said, that's going to be done in a few days, so we need to pick our next target. Let's pick up Yugoslovakia. Here we go. Worrying report of German expansionism. This is going to change the required start of the national focus of Anschluss to be lowered. We definitely need Czechoslovakia next, because they're going to give us a load of troops which we can all put on the border. After these factories are done, I think I'm going to start building the land forts. I just want at least something in each area for now, so we'll start with 2, but we do want to eventually strengthen these up. Czechoslovakia is done. They're very likely to accept. Let's go for them now. Oh, look, we got more military factories. We got 5 on guns. That's really good. We are going to need more support equipment, so let's move that up. And then we're going to need more artillery, definitely. We also have 20 army experience, which is a good start. We're going to get rid of some of these divisions because we don't need these. We will keep this cavalry template, however, because this will be our garrison. That's good. We'll rename that and just leave that. And then we can switch over our occupied territories, because there's going to be a lot shortly to that garrison template. And then this infantry, we want to add another 3 battalions on the back end of it. We'll probably take off the cavalry recon, but we'll do that once we get more army experience, and then swap it with some artillery. That gives us another time to pick up another 35-day focus. We want to do Alfred Janser because he's our defense expert, and he gains unyielding defender for this, which is excellent. This is exactly what we want. And we're also going to get political power to recruit him. So yeah, moving on to these 2 to focus next. Lovely. And Czechoslovak Republic folds, and they give us a whole bunch of troops. So 32 divisions now. We want to switch all of these infantry over to our main infantry template. We get some of these rogue cavalry templates. They're going to be turned into infantry as well. There we are. That's organized for now. So we got 5 units of cavalry, 3 units of mountaineers. By the time that we flesh those out, that's gonna be sort of what we can hold anyway, so that will do. And we obviously want as much infantry as possible. The border, of course, with Germany's become a lot bigger now, but we do get the Czechoslovakian fort lines, so we'll just put everybody on that. And now that it's January of 1938, let's get medium tanks. We're gonna need those. So the German Reich expresses dislike for our military high command. We want to pick the option for this is none of their business, and we want to prevent the death of Zena. So to do this, I believe we'll have to spend some political power. Here we are, up security around the high command. Let's click that. Excellent, and we're starting to get a good amount of military factories in now, and we're nearly done rallying against Yugoslavia, so we'll go for Romania next. Nearly finished with these military factories, and then we will want to build the max level of forts, I think. Right, we need to also get infantry equipment up, and we'll probably need to start producing some trucks for supply. There we go. Attempt at the life of Wilhelm is thwarted. So we get more political power, and we help stay Anschluss for a while longer. We can also now go up to limited conscription. That's going to help. And here we go. We can now go ahead and do military exercises with Yugoslavia. Excellent. Now that's completed, we can integrate Yugoslavia. Nearly done with this military factory. Excellent. Right, now let's make sure... we need a little bit more political power. That's fine. That should help with construction. And there is also this one tile in the Czechoslovakian fort line, which is not actually protected, so we'll need to do that as well. We need to get Alfred Janser so that we can get our defenses up and running. So let's select him now. Actually, we can edit our infantry template, so let's take the recon off and put on some artillery. Lovely, and we now get some more of the Yugoslavian territory. We can actually, and we will need to push for more. but we'll work on that shortly. We're going to want to increase some of these railways as well, just because they're not the best, but the German Reich objects to Alfred Jens's defensive plan. Again, we want to insist on him becoming our leader. We don't want to lower the fighting strength for for the Anschluss decision. Right, we need to get a crack on now, rallying against Romania, and we'll pick up our chief of the army now because we can. Next, we'll I think go on to take back Galicia, just so that we can get all of our war goals and then really rush to try and form the Archduchy. We've got the political power, so yeah, we'll use the shorter one, try and speed this up a bit. Mountaineers wise, we are going to use these guys. Let's bulk them out a little bit more, and then we'll want to put some artillery, I think, on the end of them. These are going to be our offensive units as such, so lovely. And Romania folds, that's more territory now for us. And medium tanks are in, so we can start designing those as well, which we'll definitely need to do. We'll push for further Balkan demands from the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. In fact, let's put them on this border for now. Meanwhile, we can integrate some of these territories. We're going to get more as we go anyway, but we just need to pick one of these up. So we'll just integrate Bohemia to start off with. Lovely. And Yugoslavia has very much conceded a lot of its territory now. Now over to Poland to see if we can push for their territory. A change in opinion. The German leadership is furious and wishes for us to take action. We can either... No, we're not going to push for fascism. We're done with that Nazi Germany. They are starting to amass on our border, and I don't like the look of it. I definitely want to click some of these areas so that we can get these garrison bonuses. There we go. Should be able to push for that territory now. Now, our Mountaineers, they're basically going to provide a... they're going to be what we rotate with at the minute, just to try and reinforce certain areas. We need a lot more infantry, to be honest, on the border. We definitely need more manpower. And we can also probably create our anti-air tank and start producing these. There we are. That's what I'm going to go with, I think, for our tank. That will do for our anti-air. Let's get that into production. And we'll just try and produce as much of this as possible, really. Yeah, we can actually do some of these focuses, which could be quite funny. So we can reform the Central Powers and get the gang back together. It's likely that Germany won't join us, but it'd be quite funny. And we get Turkey and Bulgaria in, which prevents Bulgaria, I suppose, coming through our back door. So we'll get the band back together. Here we go. This is the issue that's about to start. These areas should be fine. I think I'm going to do state garrisons here. Oh, brilliant. Okay, and we got that land off of Poland now, so that means we can go ahead and start finishing the rest of the empire. So we can click this button. That will automatically give us cores on all of the areas highlighted, which is good. But I want to stay as the Austro-Hungarian Empire, so... Otherwise, if we basically we have the option to style our nation in two different ways, either the Austrian Empire, in which case we could just click this button and then go on and reform the Austrian Empire, and that's what we'd be known as, or we can do the Austrian Empire focus first, then click the button. Will be known as the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which is what we want. It's just a preference. You can do it whatever way around. We can probably start trading for some of the resources that we need now as well. There we go. The Tsardom of Bulgaria and Turkey joins our Central Powers group, which is excellent. It means we've got a little bit of a few allies now to help us. And now we can go on and proclaim our Austrian Empire and then reform our Austro-Hungarian Empire. The Anschluss risk mitigated. With us now part of the Central Powers, it seems that Adolf Hitler has decided against attempting to integrate us into the German Reich. Interesting. We put in some very hard work to make this sure we could keep our independence, and the payoff was well worth our time. Oh, so looks like maybe Germany isn't going to come for us now? I'm not sure. There we go. Proclaim the Austrian Empire is in. So we are now the beautiful, well, still the beautiful Austrian Empire, but more importantly, we want to now click this button to restore the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And there we are. We've got our lovely flag back. We've got a lot of manpower and a lot of factories from that, which is excellent. Oh, and we can even make some convoys. That's quite useful, isn't it? Well, it looks like since we've reformed the Central Powers, Germany isn't going to come for us, which gives us a little bit more time to prepare against them, but we can start preparing to move against them, which is ideal, really. So let's focus on some of the industry for now. We'll do the Great Austrian Economic Push, and then maybe start thinking about our war. We would definitely want to, get involved, I think, by the time Poland comes around, because I don't really want to extend this border. Ah, no, here we go. The German Reich now demands the Sudetenland. So I suppose because we have Czechoslovakia, yeah, they're pushing for that. The German Reich is now going to get their war goal against us, but we're going to say that the German war machine stops here. So here we go. And here they come. I think I'm going to pick up some of these focuses now. We'll pick up bold attack and we'll start moving in some of our mountaineers because it looks like they're doing offensives here for now. We did get the garrison state bonfires in these areas, which is good. Yeah, they're pushing quite hard. Yeah, they're pushing with their armor now by the looks of things here. We'll shorten the front line for the mountaineers. We'll start building an intel work against Germany as well. And we just want to keep an eye on where they're going to push, essentially, into our borders. And it's holding for now, which is good. And now we just need to keep training men. We need a lot of troops on the front line. We can get another research slot now, and then we'll probably do our insurance scandal back from live. Yeah, so trains are just going to get absolutely pummeled. Let's put this motorization priority up for the units, so they should get some supply from vehicles. Looks like we need quite a lot of vehicles as well. We're going to have to ramp up production of them. And yeah, we desperately need to get these military factories up. And we can actually make our Space Marine template. This is great. So let's duplicate these now. And we'll just add the medium support anti-air on the back of it. Can we introduce any of those units now? So if I change these two that we've been training, we can, because we've got 100 available. So these will be our first two. They're going to go into the Mountaineers and just straight away support. Okay, looks like they've shifted their attack slightly. So we shall shift our defensive front lines slightly also. Yeah, they're absolutely bombing all the railways, basically. Going to assign a few more factories to repairs. Excellent. Well, everything seems to be holding quite well. We're going to want some more artillery on our mountaineers. We'll start adding that on. Going to move some of these planes back slightly. And I'm also going to use these fighters that we've got here. Switch them to daylight and put them on training. And in fact, I'm going to put these guys out for air superiority. Hopefully, they should be able to at least get that. Yeah, so that's a bit of green skies and prevent bombing over here. They have moved their area of attack, so we need to now quickly reinforce over there. Definitely don't want to let them break through. And, well, now Italy has joined. That could be a slight issue. We'll need to put some troops on the border. Move these guys over as quickly as possible. Lovely, and now we can also bring the Phoenix insurance scandal back. We do appear to be losing quite a lot of trucks. I want to try and see if we can get some more of those into production, although we need to keep guns up as well. Let's improve our artillery and anti-air in the meantime. That's what we're going to be using quite a lot of. Looks like some of their tank units are at least being quite beaten back by us, which is good. Let's go up to war economy as well. I think that's going to be our best solution for the minute. Further continue our boost to construction and militarize our economy. Casualties are so far looking pretty good in our favor. Obviously, Germany has an infinite amount of industry and equipment, so it's going to be quite hard. We're going to need to whittle them down over time. And they have again moved their armor. They do tend to like to attack from up here, so I wonder if that is... Yes, they're over there now. Let's get some of the guys back over. And I will actually, I think, start training some of these guys into our elite template as well. We do have some of the equipment, so let's do this one. And maybe this one as well. There we go. Nice. Okay, well, we managed to reinforce it in time. Yeah, and our anti-air support is definitely helping. Yeah, they can't break through. Good. Yeah, the Air Force, as I mentioned, isn't very good, but I suppose we'll just utilize what we have. Anything as a deterrent is better than nothing. Our stability's not looking too good, so it might be worth to try and use some improved worker conditions. We will just lose a bit of factory output, but I think we'll have to take it for now. There we are, and bring the Phoenix insurances back from the ashes is in, so that will help really well. Next, we can sort of choose where we want to go from a bit more now. I think it might be good to try and at least get a good fighter into production, so that's what we'll go with. Working on down some of the Air Force options. Meanwhile, we just need to keep working on the economy, building that up so that it's proficient and able to just deal with the onslaught of the Germans. Yeah, German casualties are mounting, and their light tank divisions are just no use really at punching through, which is good. That's what we want to hear. Meanwhile, guns seem to be looking quite good. Let's see if we can train a few more units. Looks like they may be moving back round to this side now, so I think we'll move the units back over there. We've got some motorized down here. Yeah, here's the armor. Train another one of these into our elite template. Oh, they have slightly shifted actually, so let's quickly move over there. And hopefully, yeah, definitely continuing to shoot down their planes. Excellent. Now, one thing that we're going to definitely want to do is use more mountaineers. So actually, let's work on those because we do need some offensive units. How many more can we train? Just one for now. And I do want more artillery actually on the back of them. Okay, so trucks are slowly coming back to us. And they've moved their units again. Let's see where they're going to go down next. Probably, yes, here. Interesting. Okay, they haven't gone quite as far around as I thought. So we'll just extend that out a little bit. Oh, and actually we can produce a few more units of mountaineers, so we will do. Okay, this is where things might become a little bit difficult. Poland refuses the ultimatum. And they're being declared war now in Germany. They've joined our faction. Right, this could be a little bit tricky. And the Allies aren't coming into the war, which is gonna also make it slightly complicates things. No matter, though. Well, we are pushing them out slightly. I wonder if we could try and create an encirclement. We will need our mountaineers to do that, though. We won't be able to do it without them. The template, I think, is looking all right. We can put some rangers on them. We're not producing any sort of anti-air equipment. We could maybe look to do that and then put that on our infantry, so that will help buff them out. Nice, just as the Mountaineer focus comes in, actually, that's good. We'll focus on some domestic aircraft production. Right, see if we can do a quick push here. Yeah, they're reinforcing slightly, and Poland looks like it might be crumbling, which is not good. Unfortunately, we needed the Allies to join the war, and they haven't. I'm going to make a new support group. There we are, you'll do. You're going to be our new Polish defense. So maybe a fallback line along here will do for now, and we'll put 2 units of our Space Marine template in there as well. Oh dear, yeah, that is the Polish encircled there. I don't think we're going to be able to free those. Doesn't look like we're being very successful in pushing these guys out of the tile. Let's see if we can push here. Ideally, I'd like to create a encirclement, but it's not looking too doable at the minute. Okay, here comes a big push from Germany. I'm going to try and change these guys into infantry, I think. Oh, and they're pushing over here now as well. That is quite worrying. There is a supply hub here, which is pretty good. I'll see if we can connect that up. There we go. That's put all of those units back into supply. Just need to keep an eye on this area because I definitely don't want to lose any troops here. Excellent. More mountaineers. That's what we need. I think we might struggle to push really into this territory, which isn't ideal, but they're coming back after us, which is good because we can handle them from our territory. UK wants to send volunteers. Frustrating, because I wish they just joined the bloody war. Right, we can actually get some MIOs for our air production. That will be useful. Poland seeks Lithuanian collaboration. Lithuania is also the only other country guaranteed, so if Germany tries and declares a war for them, then hopefully the Allies will be brought in as well. So yeah, they can. Oh, they reject our offer apparently. That is frustrating. Hopefully Germany does declare war for them so that the Allies can finally join the war. Meanwhile, looking at some of the casualties, Poland obviously taken a beating, but Germany's not looking too hot either. Well, they obviously have quite limitless power, but they've been dented somewhat. Yeah, we do. Trains are an issue. We have a load of trucks now, which is really good, so we'll stop producing so many of those. Now, I'm not too sure where we're going to be able to do some damage. It would be good if we could try and circle here, but they have really reinforced it, so I'm not too positive about that. This tile is looking slightly weaker, so maybe we can do something here. Right, let's see if we can push over here. No, it's not going to go very well for us. Yeah, it's just becoming a bit of an issue to push, I think. Unfortunately, this would be the ideal spot for a encirclement. I suppose maybe we could try and take some of this territory off them. up here. Nice, 9 more divisions. That can go into this infantry template over here. Meanwhile, let's see if we can actually do a push now. No, they're not gonna be able to push through this woodland, I don't think, frustratingly. Suppose if they had some air support, that may help, but we're trying to push without it at the minute. It's not really working for us. Right, well, I guess we're going to need some air force, so we'll just push for planes, I think, at the minute. Do a focus over there. Ah, that is an issue. Legionary Roma join the Axis. We might have to pull some of these troops back so that we can put a front line on Romania. That's definitely not going to help with our front lines over here. Let's see if they join. They may do, which it won't be ideal. And Germany has really stopped pushing against us a bit as well. Yeah, here we go. Romania are in. I wonder if that will pull Italy into the war as well. Also might have to pull some of these mountaineers back. If we could take Romania out, I suppose that might be quite useful. We could potentially do that as well. Oh, I hope Poland doesn't pull men off of their border. Oh, the Soviets want to send units. Sure, fine. Everyone can join. I suppose they're volunteering, but not actually committing, which is frustrating. Taking out Romania is definitely something that could be a possibility, really. So I think that's what we'll try and look to do. Right, we'll see if we can... yeah, Romania is looking a lot more squishy. Well, that's some Romanian units now out of the fight. We can try and squeeze these in. Netherlands joins the Allies, but they're not actually doing anything to join the war. Crush these units. Oh, and Romania's gone. Look at that. Excellent. That means we can now commit these units back up to this front with Germany. I'm going to see if we can maybe push with the mountaineers through here. I suppose if we could at least get a little encirclement there, that might help. Meanwhile, we should probably get the attack bonus by forming an offensive line, so we'll do that with both of these. There we go. Let's assign the mountaineers there. Okay, good. Managed to cut off the German lines now. So we may be able to look at doing some pushing. This is really when we want tanks, but we need an air force. I think that's definitely the main thing. They want to send expeditionary forces. Why are the British all down in Turkey? For God's sake, this is useless. Right, well, we've got 9 divisions of random stuff. We'll just assign them to that line. Nice, look at this. We can actually move in. Oh, wow, we're even pushing into Danzig here. Italy declared war on Greece, and that's going to bring, hopefully, the Allies into the war now. Just have to watch how that front develops. Germany is biting off a little bit more than it can chew by it, what it feels like here. There could possibly be some encirclement opportunities. Okay, so there we go. Italy's come into the war. Let's push in and try and take what we can. Because, yeah, they look to have not protected their border as well as they could have. Okay, yeah, they're bringing some units back. Okay, we're getting a lot of requests now, so let's see what we can do. Yep, move territory. Not really too fussed about a non-aggression pact, but yes, you can move your troops through. That's definitely what we want. And in fact, whilst we have opened up the front line here, the Mountaineers are going to really help by pushing into Italy, so we could potentially capitulate them. So let's see if we can push for that. Right, well, manpower is slowly going down. I think we'll go down this side of the tree so that we can pick up this extra recruitable population factor. Right, can we try and cut off some of the Italian divisions here? Oh dear, okay. They've managed to push through there. That's not good. We're going to need to maybe move some units over here. Oh wow, okay, they've really quickly pushed through. This is not good. Although, having said that, we may be able to use some of the Mountaineers to re-encircle these units. Nice. Well, they're actually stuck now. That's good. Lovely. Look at that. Well, just by letting them extend slightly means that we've crushed some of those units. Let's pick up our commando. That's going to help with Special Forces cap, meaning we can actually get some more Mountaineers and give them better attack. There we go. That's a good amount of Italian units destroyed. I'm going to maybe switch these guys all into our Space Marine template. That's going to help with some anti-air support. Now, I wonder if because we have 3 sort of areas we can attack here. I wonder if that will help take Venice. Because if we can, then we're just going to sort of stampede through Italy, really. If we can't, maybe probably push through here, encircle these units. That might be a better play, really, anyway. Ooh, looking like we'll be able to push them off. Yeah, really nice. Or actually, if we can encircle them here, that would be huge. Nice. Okay. Good encirclement there. Italy is crumbling. Meanwhile, the situation in Poland seems to have stabilized. That's good. And everything else is looking our way, which is nice. Come on, we can squish these guys, hopefully. Ah, and Mussolini is deposed. This is great. Good encirclement there of Italian troops. Nice, and fighters, which means we can now finally start to put in some aircraft production, and we'll really ramp this up now. Want to make sure that we can, I suppose, produce these as best as possible. I mean, these units have got to be really out of supply. Excellent, 9 more divisions. And this front is now all unified, so we can actually start focusing completely on sweeping through Italy now. Just push, men. Take Italy by storm. Give no quarter. This is really where some motorized would come in handy, so that's what we'll build quickly. There you are, something like that will do fine. Ah, now occupied Italian territory. We can either keep it or transfer it. I'm not sure. These are all occupied states, so we can't, I don't think, get... Oh, we can get cores on some of it. Well, in which case, I think we'll keep some of the occupied territory for now, but we can always shift it over. Just don't stop. Keep moving down. See if we can sweep in behind again. Nice. Encircled. And we're into Sicily, so that's one of the hardest parts done. And they capitulate. Excellent. That is that territory back to us now. And we did get the Italian puppet. So now it's just a question of taking out Germany and realistically trying to hit them where it's going to hurt. Right, well, we'll move our main forces over here. I think ideally this pocket is looking the best that we could try and encircle. Can we whack some anti-air on these? Have we got enough? We do. Excellent. Right, we're going to absolutely pour some troops through here now. Come on, we're charging through. Can we try and link up some of these fronts? I think they're going to really reinforce some of these areas, but we'll see. Oh, okay. Come on. Oh, look at this. Yes. Come on, clean them up. No. Ah, encirclement. Lovely. Ah, and this pocket is all encircled now. Germany is going to start to get in trouble. Oh, wow, yeah, we have definitely punched some casualties, and I've realised that manpower is a bit of an issue. Although we've definitely been squashing them. I suppose our pushing with infantry has not been as good as we would have liked for. So, but we're only on limited conscription, so could be worse. Meanwhile, doctrine-wise, I suppose we're just using a lot of infantry really at the minute. We're not using tanks, so superior firepower would be what we go down. Pick up smoke and fire as well, just to improve with some of this. Yeah, Germany, you're done for, mate. We are absolutely cruising up. Poland is reborn, which is good. Now really brings us onto our sort of last offensive. Oh, good. And encircled here. Lovely. That's what we love to see. And this is where motorized are really going to shine for us. Just driving straight through. Yeah, Germany's looking pretty squishy. I wonder if we can battle plan. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're going. Oh, and looks like we can just walk into Berlin here. Lovely. Netherlands is getting a little bit longer, and Germany's borders are all a little bit messy. There we go. And Germany capitulates. Incredible. Now, realistically, the main thing that we actually want to do is get as much of the German territory as possible, because we can actually incorporate that. Bit tricky, even though we got the leading participation of war score, it isn't quite, it may not be enough, but we'll see what we can do. Right, well, unfortunately that has resulted in a bit of border gore. German Republic is sort of around now. France got a little bit of land, and Britain, annoyingly, also got a bit. But otherwise, we've managed to bring back our beautiful, beautiful Austro-Hungarian Empire. We're the leader of the Central Powers, so we have a faction of sorts. I think Poland's still in it, which may be an issue with Russia coming about. And we'd probably have to go to war with allies to get some more of the lands back from Germany. But since we've now actually got some of the German lands, we could actually move down onto this territory, the better German state, which would allow us to give cores essentially on the German territory we've now conquered, making us very, very powerful indeed. Either way, I think I'm going to leave that playthrough here. Let me know in the comments if you like this video, and of course let me know what nations you would like to see me play next. Definitely still quite keen to do a deep dive into some other countries though, and see what strategies we can pull out for those. So if you do want to see me play a specific nation, let me know in the comments please. Otherwise, this has been fun, but I will catch you all in the next one. See ya!